1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headlines. It has been stated that the MOU that will be signed today is a historical opportunity for the betterment of the country. President Ranil Wickremesinghe is scheduled to address the nation today. Minister Mahinda Amaraveera says that Bandi fertilizer will be provided to farmers free of charge for the next 2 seasons. Sri Lanka is dedicated to work with the member countries of the Asian Cooperation Organization to enhance trade relations and investment opportunities. The CPC refinery is to become a separate government-owned entity under a restructuring plan. Macron's election gamble puts French democracy on the table. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena says that the MOU that will be signed today is a historical opportunity for the betterment of the country. Participating at the Dasa Desin program of the SLBC, he stated that Sri Lanka will become a future hopeful country. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has accepted the country to overcome the challenges at an instance of severely economic collapse. International support is needed to take the country forward. He also pointed out that the President has fulfilled an immense task with the support of the officials of the Ministry of Finance. Discussions have been held with many countries including India, China and Japan to make a change in the country. He further said that the President will reveal the truth to the public today. President Ranil Wickremesinghe is scheduled to address the nation today. The Department of Government Information states that a special statement is to be made by the President at 8 p.m. The address will be telecast live through all government media channels. Minister Mahinda Amaraveera says that Bandi fertilizer will be provided to farmers free of charge for the next 2 seasons. The government will spend 3,200 million rupees in this regard. The necessary stocks of fertilizer will be distributed among the farmers within the next few months. Currently, there is no fertilizer shortage in the country. In the 2022 year, the import of rice has been carried out largely. However, the import of rice has declined due to concessions given to the farmers by the government. Therefore, the import of rice has declined remarkably this year. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. State Minister Taraka Balasurya says that Sri Lanka is dedicated to work with the member countries of the Asian Cooperation Organization to enhance trade relations, investment opportunities and economic development. He also stated that a sustainable development plan can be achieved with the support of member countries collectively. He made these remarks while participating at the 19th session of the foreign ministers of the member countries at the Asian Cooperation Forum. The Minister of Power and Energy, Kanchana Wijesekara, says a discussion on the timeline and process for implementing the reforms pertaining to the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, CPC, took place yesterday with senior management of the CPC and the refinery. In a post on X, he said that under the restructuring plan, the CPC-owned refinery will be set up as a separate government-owned and operated entity to attract and raise investments with the aim of improving fuel quality, efficiency, capacity and reducing costs. The restructuring plan includes revising the current approved cadre and salary structure of the CPC, while digital platforms will be introduced for multiple functions and services, he said.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Vijayavardhana.
According to the Agriculture and Agrarian Insurance Board, 2 billion rupees will be spent on crops damaged due to heavy rains in the 23-24 Maha season. Mahinda Amaraveera, the Minister of Agriculture and Plantation Industry, states that currently 1 billion rupees has been received for crop damage compensation and another 1 billion rupees will be requested from the government. In the 23-24 Maha season, the highest damage due to heavy rains was reported from the Ampara district, and it is estimated that at least 800 million rupees will be spent to compensate crop damages in the Ampara district.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Vijayavardhana.
And now in Watchlight, the main road of the Rangirigama Tsunami village in Hambantota is in a severely dilapidated condition. On rainy days, passengers face severe hardships due to this reason. Residents request the relevant authorities to take necessary measures to renovate a road in this area. This is for the attention of the Secretary of the Hambantota Pradeshya Sabha.
Coming up, World News.
In world news headlines, Macron's election gamble puts French democracy on the table. Anti-tax protesters storm Kenya's parliament, drawing police fire as the president vows to quash unrest. Cabinet minister admits 3 election bets. 2 neighbouring countries are approaching elections that were called out of the blue. Both have governments that are expected to fall. In both countries, political tensions have divided families and friends. At this point, all attempts to draw parallels between the British and French elections must cease, because however much might be at issue in the UK election, and there is much, it pales next to the stakes that have been raised across the Channel. In France, it is not just the fate of a government or a leader that is in the air, but of a political system. Thousands of protesters stormed Kenya's parliament on Tuesday to protest tax proposals, burning part of the building, sending lawmakers fleeing and drawing fire from police in unrest that the president vowed to quash. Several people were killed. It was the most direct assault on the government in decades. Journalists saw at least 3 bodies outside the complex where police had opened fire, and medical workers reported 5 people killed. Clashes spread to other cities. There was no immediate word on the arrests. A Conservative cabinet minister has admitted placing 3 bets on the date of the general election in the weeks before Rishi Sunak's surprise announcement. Scottish Secretary Alistair Jack told the BBC that in April he placed a successful bet that the election date would fall between July and September after losing 2 similar bets in March. Mr. Jack, who is standing down at the election after 7 years in Parliament, said he has not breached any rules. He had originally told the BBC he had made £2,100 from one of the bets, but later claimed his comments were a joke. And now the headlines of this news broadcast. Macron's election gamble puts French democracy on the table. Anti-tax protesters storm Kenya's parliament, drawing police fire as the president vows to quash unrest. Cabinet minister admits 3 election bets.
Development news.
The Cabinet of Ministers approved the combined proposal presented by President Ranil Wickremesinghe and requested to take the necessary measures to develop the Hinguragoda Airport as a complete airport. The Hinguragoda Airport is currently operated under the management of the Sri Lanka Air Force, and the need to develop the airport in accordance with the International Civil Aviation Organization ICAO stands has been identified.
Moving on with sports news.
Today is the second day of the National Athletics Championship Tournament, which is held at the Diyagama International Playground. Aruna Darshana and Nadish Ramanayake have won the gold medals at the 400-meter women's and male events. The silver medal was won by Kalinga Kumarange at the event.
Go ekakthiyana youth ekat life eke change ekat niyamata set wenna as wahagena dakapu veena habe karanna youth ekat niyamata set wenna friendship ekak menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cinnamon Hotels and Resorts introduced the Gathering of Giants, an immersive educative weekend from the 9th to the 11th of August this year at the Cinnamon Habarana Complex, a unique event aimed to transport the annual natural phenomenon of the world's largest gathering of Asian elephants, the Elephant Gathering, into celebrated and educational experiences for all. This spectacular gathering, recognized as the highest concentration of Asian elephants in a single location, occurs at the Minneria National Park, where the Minneria tank sustains more than 300 elephants during the dry season.
Business News, Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go එකක් තියන youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හින හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
And now in economic news, Laughs Rubber emerged as a winner in the large category and secured the title of winner for excellence in business and financial results, the large category. Additionally, the company earned the bronze award overall and was recognized as a runner-up in the export sector for the third consecutive year, as well as received a merit award for global market reach.
Weather report.
Showers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamu and northwestern provinces and in the Mahanuwara, Nuwara Eliya, Gala and Mathura districts. Fairly heavy showers above 50 millimeters are likely at some places in the Sabaragamu province and in the Kurunegala, Mahanuwara and Nuwara Eliya districts. Several spells of showers may occur in the Mathale and Hambantara districts. Strong winds of about 40 to 50 kilometers per hour can be expected at times over the western slopes of the central hills, the northern, north central and northwestern provinces and in the Trikunamalaya, Hambantota and Murragala districts. That was about the report, and now the headlines of this news broadcast. It has been stated that the MOU that will be signed today is a historical opportunity for the betterment of the country. President Ranil Wickremesinghe is scheduled to address the nation today. Minister Mahinda Amaravira says that Bandi fertilizer will be provided to farmers free of charge for the next 2 seasons. Sri Lanka is dedicated to work with the member countries of the Asian Cooperation Organization to enhance trade relations and investment opportunities. The CPC refinery is to become a separate government-owned entity under a restructuring plan. Macron's election gamble puts French democracy on the table. That concludes this news broadcast. You're with Radio Sri Lanka, and now it's back to Heshma Samath on the other side to keep you in great company. Over to you, Heshma.